It's going to be the year of crude price volatility, says Fatih Birol, the Executive Director of the IEA. I have the man right here with us here on Bloomberg Quint in Davos to talk us through what the year holds for crude prices and, of course, the energy business. Thank you very much, Dr. Birol, for speaking with us. $50 a barrel, does that look like a realistic price level through the course of the year, or do you think prices might go higher?
So when we met last year here, it was $28,
yes.
And we discussed that those price levels were not sustainable, and it will increase. And indeed, we are now about $55, double the prices. But this increase in the prices lead to several changes. One of them is last year, 2016, because of low prices, U.S. oil production did decline.
Right.
But now, since the prices went up, we are seeing that this time U.S. oil production is going to increase and will bring a lot of oil in the markets in the next few months. So there will be a lot of oil in the markets in the next few months, which again will put a downward pressure on the prices.
Okay.
So we were low and increased to $55 and above. But those high prices induce a lot of new oil production in the United States, which will put downward pressure on the prices. As you said in the beginning, volatility is the name of the game.
No, but do you expect that could prompt OPEC to look at further production cuts? You've been quoted as saying that, we will see shale oil come back at these prices.
Yes.
It finally becomes viable. Maybe we will see investments return as well in the sector over the medium and long term if prices stay at this level. But will it prompt another production cut?
Yes, you are right. I have been saying that with these prices, shale oil will come back, and it indeed is coming back. We are seeing the volumes in the markets pouring in. This would mean that the perhaps the desired price levels by some of the producing countries will be difficult to reach as the U.S. shale oil plays a role of capping the price increases.
Right. So where or how or what do you think will prompt the OPEC to act further, or do you think they're comfortable with $50 a barrel or around there? How do you read what the OPEC's position will be?
I think it is up to them to decide what they are going to do, but the producer countries' room of maneuver is now much more limited compared to several years ago. If they push the prices up, there will be a reaction from the U.S. shale producers, which will put the prices down again. So it will be important to follow a price band which wouldn't induce substantial amount of growth from United States or elsewhere.
So what would that price band be then? Do you have a recommendation or even an expectation of where you think it might settle through the course of the year?
I personally prefer that the prices, oil prices, are determined by the market forces.
Right.
But these price levels are so that they are surely giving an impetus to U.S. shale oil. But if they go higher, this impetus will be very, very strong. So therefore, I think there is a message for the OPEC producers to read the game here.
So then again, I ask you, do you think 50 sounds like a fair level that prices will settle at, despite all this volatility? If you averaged out the prices expected for the year, would you say $50 to $55 is where you expect them to land?
I think for a short period of time, we may see the prices around those levels, yes.
Okay. At these levels, do you believe that the prospects for renewable energy, which are also driven by many other concerns, most importantly the environment, but that the prospects for renewable energy also become better?
Yes, renewable energies have their own dynamics. Solar, wind, they are becoming cheaper. For example, solar prices, in the last 5 years, cost of solar went down by 80%, becoming cheaper, becoming viable. It is not a romantic story anymore.
No.
It's a real business, and India is making major efforts and achievements in solar. So I don't expect that the oil price levels will have a major impact in the penetration of solar.
No, what I meant is, in fact, if prices were to stay between 50 and 60, which is substantially higher than where they were last year, this also makes renewable energy that much more attractive, because at least to begin with, at the start of a renewable energy project, capital costs are much higher. So.
Yes, definitely. But the issue is oil and solar. They are not necessarily big competitors. We use oil more for transportation, cars and trucks. Solar we use for electricity generation. But the higher the fossil fuel prices are, in general, the better it is for the renewable energies.
How do you assess India's progress in being able to expand its acquisition of power, or its sourcing of power from renewable energy sources? Prime Minister Modi has, bet very big on solar power, but there is now some concern about the kind of bidding that's gone on in solar power, and whether solar power will go down the route that wind power did, where we saw a lot of companies, stressed because they weren't able to be viable.
Yes. I am following the after meeting last year with the Prime Minister Modi and discussing this issue. I am following even more closely the solar power progress of India. And before coming to this freezing Davos, I was in Abu Dhabi, plus 20 degrees, and I had a meeting with the Minister Goyal there.
Yes.
I told him one word: excellent. Excellent work, and India is doing excellent work in terms of solar. Please continue to work hard, because India needs solar to use at home, but also India may well be a global figure in terms of the solar power, and all the fundamentals are there. The policy will, the loss of radiation. Technology is there, so therefore I don't see any barriers, and this will be a big success story if the government continues to support solar energy, one of the solutions to the problems of air pollution and others in India.
Yes, absolutely. One final question, Dr. Birol, and that is that we've spoken of the demand-supply situation in crude prices, but we haven't spoken of geopolitics. Now, do you expect that there could be big geopolitical developments this year that could then put some kind of upward pressure on crude prices, thereby changing one's expectation of where prices may land?
First of all, I hope not, because I hope the oil remains as a business rather than the extension of geopolitics. But there is one very important fact, and which is important for India or many other countries. The last month, the share of Middle East producers in the global oil production reached a historical high of 40 years. We have never seen the Middle East countries' share so high. Think about this number. And the second fact is, when you look at the television every day, what is happening in the Middle East, in Iraq, Libya, Syria, many countries. So I hope oil and geopolitics will be not too much interwoven, especially what is happening in Middle East.
Are you fearful that any rollback in the Iran deal might in fact also hurt that additional supply that was coming into the market? There is expectation that President Trump may speak a bit tough against the deal that was struck by outgoing President Obama.
So I, of course, don't know what will be the new U.S. administration position vis-a-vis Iran deal, but Iran brought a lot of oil in the markets recently, and how it will continue, whether or not Iran will be able to increase its production in terms of oil or gas. There is already a big appetite from many companies there. It will be depending on the political stability for the investments going to be made in Iran. So Iran needs to be still in good terms with the international community.
Yes,
and I hope the deal between Iran, US and other countries will give a successful solution to everybody.
Dr. Birol, thank you so much for those insights. Thank you for
much.
joining us. It promises to be an interesting year when it comes to crude price. Like Dr. Birol said at the beginning, it's going to be a year of crude price volatility. Stay tuned for more updates on BloombergQuint.com.